Hey guys, Michael Levine here. I wanted to talk to you about how to get paid like you're working full-time by working part-time. And this came about because of a comment on a Facebook thread that somebody had tagged me in, and it was a salon owner, and she was struggling with the idea of some of her staff that basically were doing okay, and then they wanted to cut back their hours, assuming that they would still do that same level of money. They would just do those clients in like 2 or 3 days a week as opposed to 5 days a week. And I'm all about that. Like, who wouldn't want to work less for the same money? I mean, you'd be crazy not to. I don't necessarily recommend being like that if you're earlier in your career. I think if you've been at it for a little while and the body's maybe getting a little tired and you're kind of have a few hobbies and diversions and other things that you like to do, you still love doing hair, but you're not super hungry to take over the world as a hairdresser, I think it makes perfect sense. And I myself did it actually as a hairdresser. I've done it a few times at various points in my career. I remember when I first stopped working Saturdays. Now, when you're a young hairdresser, Saturday tends to be your busy day, so that's your guaranteed fully booked day when you're first starting out. And it's one of those days that your Monday to Friday working clients can always get in. Well, once I became a fully booked hairdresser, Saturday actually was my least money day, because it was the shortest day of the week for me. So I stopped working Saturdays. And we always make little adjustments so we can be more efficient with our time, and that makes perfect sense. I've had several of my staff do this as well, and I've had some of them do it successfully and some of them do it very unsuccessfully. I had a person who worked for me for about a decade. You know, he was a good hairdresser, but not very successful, and never really made very much money. And I think the reason was he just never really did any of the stuff that a successful hairdresser does. Like, really, I don't think his clients ever took him seriously as a hairdresser. I think they liked the hair he did, but I don't think they ever really believed that he was a career hardcore hairdresser, and I don't think he believed it. So obviously if he didn't believe it, they're not going to believe it. So anyways, all of my team works 4 days a week so that nobody gets burned out. Well, this dude was not fully booked 4 days a week. So his mentality was that he would work 2 days a week and compress the clients, because he figured when he did the math that he could actually do his 4-day-a-week clients in 2 days. I said to him, I don't think you understand, like, your clients are not going to work a 2-day-a-week schedule. They're just because you have the available hours doesn't mean they're going to adjust their schedule for you. And the reason that I had said this was because I know that unless you set yourself up for success, unless you have prepared your clients to accommodate their schedules, if your clients can pick up the phone and get in with you within a day or two at their convenience at a time that works for them, they're never going to get used to compressing their schedule and having to book a little bit further in advance and having to adjust their personal schedule. So I kind of watched this happen. I had a suspicion that this would happen. And I kind of watched from afar to see if my assumption was right. And basically what happened was he cut down to the 2 days a week and he was fully booked. Now, he had never been fully booked before. He had never booked in advance. Like, he had never pre-booked. His retail numbers were always bad. And he had never had any degree of a waiting list. He was just never that busy. And so I watched him. He got busy. And then after like a month or so, it started to trickle, and he started to get slower and slower and slower. And the reason is this: he had never prepared his clientele for him being a successful, busy hairdresser. So now all of a sudden these clients, instead of them adjusting their schedule, now all of a sudden they were perturbed because they were inconvenienced. It's like, man, I could always get in with him whenever I wanted. I never had to wait. I never had to come in during work hours because he always had that time available to me. And he ended up his clientele ended up dwindling back down to his same degree of busyness that he was when he was 4 days a week, except now he was earning half the amount of money because he was only working 2 days a week. Because if you never prepare your clients for your success, if you never prepare your clients for you to be a busy, badass, fully booked hairdresser with a waiting list, your clients will not make the adjustment when you cut your hours back. Now, transversely, I have a girl who worked for me. She was doing 4 days a week, and she had built up her clientele massively and built up a waiting list, and had done all of the things that we always talk about when it comes to successful hairdressing as far as pre-booking. She had done everything that I ever said to do and had built up an amazing business. And I think she was charging about $150 for a haircut and fully booked 4 days a week. And she decided to go down to 2 days a week. Now for her, I was like, give your clients plenty of notice, because they're going to have to really, really make adjustments, and there's going to be some upset people, and you're going to be squeezing people in. So what I ended up doing was putting her on a 2-day-a-week schedule, hiring, or not hiring, but scheduling a personal assistant just to work with her for those 2 days. She raised her prices from $150 to $200. And double booked herself for those 2 days. She doesn't like to sit anyways. So instead of her 10-hour day billing, say, $1,200 a day, now all of a sudden she's billing like $1,600 a day, $1,700 a day, and not missing a beat. And all of her clients, because she had told them, look guys, I'm going to be cutting back to 2 days a week. I'm still going to take care of all of you, but I am going to book myself a little heavier. So I'm not going to be able to spend like that full hour with you. I'm going to spend, 30 minutes with you, and I'm going to have this amazing assistant. And she's going to do all the shampoos and most of the blow dries and the finishing, and she's going to do some of my color applications. And she had prepared the clientele for her extra busyness. She ended up actually making almost the exact same amount of money working half the time. And how cool is that? How incredible is that? She was making 6 figures a year as a hairdresser working 2 days a week. And that's incredibly powerful. And you can do it too, but don't think you can do it without doing the groundwork first. So you have to become a super busy hairdresser with a full book, with a pre-booked clientele, a few to several months in advance. And then you too can cut your hours in half, charge more, get somebody to help you out. And hopefully the salon you work at, if you're an employee, is going to see the value in freeing up that chair 3 other days a week or 4 other days a week, and having you earn a month's worth of income in half a month. I mean, to me, that's actually a powerful thing, because it allows me to get more bodies in there and I don't miss a beat financially. I mean, what else do you want as a salon owner? So that's it. That's how you get paid full-time by working part-time.
Do you think it's gonna make him change? I'm just a boy with a new haircut, and that's a pretty nice haircut. Charge her like a puzzle.